Hey guys, it's Brian from Cross Coast Gaming, and this is another Java game programming tutorial. So the last time we left off, we had our little guy run across the screen here, and what we're going to do this time is we're going to make a simple kind of backbone for a wave class. So go ahead and make a new class named wave, and we're going to set up our, oops, let me move the mic here a little bit. We're going to set up our variables we need at the top here. So private float time since last spawn and spawn time. And they seem similar, but they should become apparent what they are when we incorporate them. Next, we're going to take a private enemy type, and a list of enemies, so private array list of type enemy named enemy list. And we probably need to import that. Yep. And that might be it. So let's make our constructor here, public wave. And it's going to take a spawn time and an enemy type. And once we have that, we're going to set, enemy type equal to enemy type, oh my gosh, and spawn time equal to spawn time, and enemy list equal to a new array list of type enemy. So that kind of initializes the list, says we're ready to add stuff to it. And next, we're going to work on our update method. So inside here, we need to import the clock too. Import static helpers clock. So inside of our update method, we're going to increase our time since, that reminds me too. In our constructor, time since last spawn equals 0. So we're going to increase our time since last spawn by the delta time that has passed, which we get from our clock class. And then we're going to check if the time since last spawn is greater than the amount of time we want to pass in between spawns. We're going to call the spawn method, which doesn't exist yet. And we're going to set time since last spawn to 0, because we just did it. And now, let's make our spawn method. And how that's going to work is we're just going to add a new enemy to our enemy list. Enemy list add new enemy. And we're going to need some values from the enemy class that we don't currently have access to. So, like the texture and the start tile and stuff like that. So go to the enemy class, and you can see these are private, so we need to create getters for them so we can access them from outside the class. So just click here below the, or in between the last two brackets, and go to source, and then generate getters and setters, and we'll just select all of them. Alright, now we go back to our wave class. And we could say enemy type dot get texture enemy. What's after that? What do we take in our constructor here? Texture, start tile, width, height, speed. Okay. So then we can say texture tile. So enemy type dot get start tile. We know that's gonna be 64 and 64. And the speed, get speed. Put a semicolon at the end there. Alright. So that adds a new enemy to our spawn. It creates a new enemy. Adds it to our enemy list. So what we want to do now in our update method is say for each of our enemies, enemy E, inside of enemy list, you want to update them, and we want to draw them. And we're probably going to reformat the way all of our updates and draws are kind of situated, but as we're building this wave class, we're just going to keep the enemy update and draw right next to each other in here. I think that might be it. Let's go to the boot class now. And right below where we make our enemy, we're going to make a new wave. Wave equals new wave. And it takes a spawn time, so we'll say 10. And an enemy type, we'll just say E, because that's the enemy we made right up here. And we can get rid of e.update because we're doing that in our wave class, and also e.draw. And we can replace that with wave.update. And let's see. I think that should work. Let's try it out. Oh, no, error. Null pointer exception from enemy line 18. Start tile.getX. Alright guys, I kind of skipped ahead a bit because I figured out what was wrong. So the issue is, it's pretty silly actually. If you go to our 18th line of our enemy class, you can see us do with our start tile, which is called when we add a new enemy here, and we're getting the start tile. The issue is that when we're making a new enemy, we're passing it a start tile, but we're never actually setting it to this thing right here, to our local variable of the start tile. So we're calling getStartTile somewhere in here. We're returning this thing that's never been set to, which is our null pointer exception. So all we need to do is inside of our constructor for our enemy, we're just going to say after the texture, this dot start tile equals start tile. And now let's try running it. Cool. And there you go. So now we got a wave. It's actually pretty perfectly spaced out. I didn't even plan that. But you can space them out some more. All you need to do is just go to the wave and change this number to something higher, like 20. And they should be twice as much time before they spawn, like that. But yeah, now we got a wave. So it's looking more and more like a tower defense. Alright guys, thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you next time.